Okay, mic check. How's that, guys? That should be better. Sorry, I was just telling you guys I just got a new mic and I wasn't sure how it's how it's performing. So that should be a lot better. Okay. All right. Yep, we got it. Okay, good. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me now. Let me turn up the sound a little bit. Yeah, I just got a new mic and I guess I didn't properly set it up. So, okay, cool. So anyway, let's do that again. So for those that are new to the channel, I am Chris with Monsters Under Our Bed. We cover murder, mystery to the paranormal. And today we're going to be going over the Alex Murdaugh trial and the latest updates from that. And of course, we always like to give back by featuring the missing before we get started. So we'll do that. All right, good deal. We got ones in the chat. Awesome. And yeah, I will be, I know you guys like the intro. Some people think it's a little long. I will be kind of building a new intro and kind of making it a little bit shorter. But for those that, with the live show and using OBS Streamlabs and stuff, it's nice to have at least a minute to 2 minute intro to kind of make sure everything's running smooth. So it allows me to kind of get set up, make sure everything's working. So anyway, thank you so much, Natty B, for becoming a member, and let's get started. Okay, so today's missing, we have Alexis Ware. We featured her a couple times. She went missing last year, so it's almost, well, it's been a year now since January 30th of last year. She went missing out of Anderson, South Carolina. She was 29 years old when she went missing. She has black hair, brown eyes. If you have any information, please call 864-260-4405. She also was driving a red 2019 Honda Accord with license plate 6635NS. So I'm missing out of South Carolina, Alexis Ware. And then we have Brooke and Adrian Gilly. Brooke is 11 years old and blue eyes. Adrian is 12 and has blue eyes. They're both 4'8" and 80 pounds. Looks like they went missing last year in March 15th and may be in the company of their non-custodial mother. This is kind of a felony kidnapping. And let's see. So it looks like they put a warrant out for the custodial parent on July 13th of last year. And this is out of Liberty, Missouri. So if you have any information, please call the local law enforcement out there or 911. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I've got to intro real quick. But yeah, I will be doing a new intro, kind of making it a little bit shorter, but still like to have like at least a minute buffer to allow me to make sure the stream is running smooth and everything. So, and just a couple other updates real quick. So I know not everybody's super interested in, I mean, there's some people that are interested in the Alex Murdaugh case, but we did a poll, I think like a week and a half ago. Not a lot of people voted for to cover the trial. I think more people are kind of getting tuned in just because I think it is getting exciting, especially after today. And if you missed any of the highlights, we're going to go through it. And they did release the Snapchat video, not just the audio that I played for you earlier, but we actually have the video and we'll look at it and stuff like that. But for those that are not too interested in that case, I am working on a video of the Doomsday Killers, Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. I'm hoping I'll have that video out maybe tomorrow, if not Friday. And then Steve, for this case, is actually working on an experiment, and it's going to be amazing. He's got everything pretty much set up. He's going to film maybe tomorrow or Friday, and hopefully maybe Saturday we'll have it ready. So, all right, let's get started. So let's play. If you missed, let's see, should we do? Let's break down just the basic timeline real quick for those that may not know the case, and then we'll get into the videos and what happened today. So, and then there was a lot of confusion because there's actually 2 Snapchat videos, and so we'll kind of explain that as well. So let me quickly move that, and thank you to all the mods for all the hard work you do. We'll try to plan for, because this week's going to be busy, we'll try to plan for a mod appreciation on, not this weekend, but next weekend. And we'll look to maybe Saturday or Sunday, and ask you guys and see what you guys think. What would be the better day? Actually, let me pull up this other one. This will be a little bit easier. That's this one here. Yeah. Okay. So just the basic timeline is, so after they were riding around, which is Paul, Maggie, and Alex Murdaugh decided to go to his house. He said he apparently took a nap sometime between 8 and 9. It's not very specific. His phone was shut off. I know I've got this. This is actually backwards. It should be from 802 to 906 is where Alex's phone would not be active. So, and that's the phrasing they use it. So it's either he turned it off or it just wasn't moving. But anyway, so he was apparently, from what he says in his statement, that he was at the house while Maggie and Alex were at the, or while Maggie and Paul were at the kennels. Now, Paul would send a couple of videos, Snapchat videos. One of them would be at 7:56 p.m. And we'll talk about that in a little bit later. And then the final video he records is at 8:44, basically 8:45. He records a 50-second video, which we'll look at here in just a minute. And you can hear 3 voices in the background, Maggie's and Paul's, of course. And if you watched the trial today, they had a couple of Paul's friends come on the stand, and they both confirmed 100% that it was Alex. So that doesn't look good for Alex. And so then it appears that Paul's phone then shuts off at approximately 8:49. I think he checks his phone one last time, along with Maggie, I think around the same time as well, 8:48, 8:49. So it looks like they, according to the prosecution, the murders, I had it at 8:45, but now it sounds like the murders took place just after 8:49 or right at 8:49, according to the prosecution. So we'll go ahead and look at the video if you haven't seen it here. We'll look at also the friend that was on the stand today. So let me find the video here. And then I also did an audio. If you missed it, I did kind of an audio comparison of, I took like Alex's voice, particularly one phrase where he says off, because you can hear him saying get him off in the kennel video. So we'll go ahead. So let me know how the volume, let me know if it's like too high.
Let me show you something real quick.
If it's a little too loud, actually, it might turn down. Let me know how that volume is on that. So this is one of the friends that came on, and this is the friend that was supposed to receive the Snapchat video. He has a dog that I guess because I guess where he lives, they can't have the dog for some reason, and so he keeps the dog over at the Murdaugh's residence because they have the kennels. His dog is named Cash, and he's basically in the video. So we'll go ahead and check it out.
I'm going to show you what's already been entered into evidence in States 163. I'm going to have you look at that image, and particularly what's there on that pool table. Do you recognize that?
That's a picture of a 300 blackout.
All right. And is that the one that you and Paul would take hog hunting?
Yes, that's one of them. I do.
All right, tell me what that is.
That's a Super Black Eagle.
All right, and do you specifically recognize that gun?
Yes,
And what gun is that?
that's Paul's gun.
And how can you tell?
The camo pattern and the strap.
Were you able to keep Cash with you when you were staying at your girlfriend's in Beaufort?
I was not able to
And why was that?
because she wasn't allowed. She was renting a house. We couldn't keep one there.
What arrangements did you make for Cash when you were staying in Beaufort and you couldn't keep him at your girlfriend's house?
I would leave him at the kennels at Moselle.
And tell me how that came to be. How did you work that out?
I asked Mr. Ellick if I could leave him there. I'd be gone at a week at a time. Just leave him there for a week, pick him back up when I come back home on the weekend.
Okay, so how is that? Is that sounds good, not too loud? Thank you so much, Susan Spear, for the super chat. What's up, Salty? Good to see you. And thank you, Donna, for becoming a member. And so I see some people saying that I guess YouTube is having some glitches. That doesn't surprise me. But hopefully the video is good. Sounds perfect. Okay, cool. All right, keep going. I just took highlights. This is not the whole, like second half of the trial. I just took little bits and pieces. The video comes up in about 2 minutes.
I'm pretty quick to you. If y'all were talking about something.
Normally, yeah, if we were talking about something, he would respond pretty quick.
That evening, well, did you talk to Paul again after that initial conversation?
I did.
All right. And when was that, roughly?
Around 8:40.
Okay. And what was that conversation about?
He called and asked if something was wrong with the dog's tail.
Okay. And was that the first you were hearing about that?
That's correct.
Tell me about your conversation.
I told him that, I wasn't real sure. I just dropped him off there Sunday and told him let's try to see if he can get me a picture or FaceTime me and let me see what was going on with the dog's tail.
All right. Where was Paul when he called you?
He was at the dog kennels.
And how do you know that?
I could hear the dogs barking in the original call.
Is he describing to you what he's seeing on Cash's tail?
That's correct.
And Cash was at the kennels?
He was.
Did you hear any other voices when you were on the phone with Paul about 8:40?
I did.
And what voices did you hear?
I heard Miss Maggie.
And who else did you hear?
And I thought it was Mr. Ellick that I heard.
You thought it was Mr. Ellick? You talked to Paul, and what did y'all talk about? What was he going to do?
He was going to try to FaceTime me. He said, you know how the service is out here. He said, if I can't get the FaceTime to go through, I'll send you a video.
And why was he going to FaceTime you? What's the difference between FaceTime and a regular call?
So I could see what was wrong with the dog.
And y'all talked about how the service is out here?
That's correct.
And what did you mean by that?
Most of the time you got enough service to make a call. I mean, sometimes calls will break up, but a FaceTime couldn't really get a whole lot of service to make the FaceTime call. It's kind of lagging.
Y'all have had problems with that before?
That's correct.
Did y'all discuss what to do if the FaceTime didn't work?
We did.
And what was the discussion?
He was going to send me a video of it, of the dog.
He was going to video it and then do what with it? Text it to you?
That's correct.
Is that the last time you ever talked to your friend?
That was.
Did y'all try to FaceTime?
We did.
Did it work?
It came through, but it was kind of lagging. I couldn't tell what was going on.
And then never heard from him again?
That's correct.
When you...
Okay, so I think he asks him one more question, and then I think the video will play here. So for those that haven't seen it, thank you so much, Sweet Dreams. Appreciate all your hard work, Chris. Thank you so much for being a member for 2 months and supporting the channel. Okay.
Spoke to Special Agent Croft on June 8th, 2021. Did you tell him and Special Agent McAllister who you thought you heard on that phone call at 8:40?
I did.
And who did you say you heard?
I thought it was Mr. Ellick, but I wasn't exactly sure.
Did you give him a percentage?
I did.
What'd you say?
99%.
That you heard Mr. Alec on that phone call at 8:40.
That's correct.
And who asked you?
Grandma.
And that'd be Miss Brandstetter,
That's correct.
Maggie's mother?
That's correct.
And what did you say?
Told her, yeah, that I had talked to Paul about the dog. I told her that I heard Miss Maggie in the background, and I heard a male voice that I thought was Mr. Ellick.
Was he in the room then?
Yes,
Did he stand up and say, no, I wasn't there?
he did.
Said, hey, I thought it was Alec, but I can't be sure.
That's correct.
Told law enforcement the night of, 99% sure, correct?
Say that question again, please.
Told law enforcement the next day, June 8th, that you were 99% sure. Is that correct?
That's correct.
As time went on, you said, I thought it was Alec, but I can't be sure.
That's correct.
In November of 2022, did law enforcement ask you to come in and look at a video?
They did.
And did you watch that video?
I did.
And what was on that video?
It was the video. Paul was supposed to take a cash. Cash was on the video.
And did you recognize the voices on there?
I did.
Did you recognize the voices of your second family?
I did.
And what voices did you hear?
Paul's, Miss Maggie, Miss Delic.
And how sure are you now?
Positive.
100%?
That's correct.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. I mean, clearly that's a nervous tick he does. I mean, he does that like 80% of the time, this little bob thing. And then when it's like there's emotional, testimony going on, then he kind of has his head more down, still doing the same thing. And it's like, is he trying to like make the jury think he's crying? I think some of his emotions could be genuine. Maybe, assuming he is the person that did this, maybe he cries for his son but doesn't feel bad for the wife, or vice versa. So anyway, the video is coming up here any second. Oh, here we go. Okay, so what we're looking at is a 50-second video. This is recorded on Paul's phone at approximately 8:44:45 or something like that. Basically, almost 8:45. But 8:44, 50-second video. This is his friend's dog, the guy that was on the stand. This is his dog, Cash. And I guess there's something like wrong with the tail, and so he wanted Paul to make this video. And in a minute, we will, if you haven't heard it, we will hear multiple voices, including Paul, Maggie's, and I think most of us would agree, in my opinion, Alex.
Get back. Get back. Quit, Cash. Come. Quit. It's okay. Come here. Come on, back. Come here, Cash. Come here. Close to it. Cash.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, Bubba.
So I just want to explain something. Remember, for those that have been following this case, we hear that when they found Paul's body, that there was like a pool of water, like almost as if somebody was trying to clean up, but yet it wasn't really, like, obviously there's still blood everywhere. And so, but we hear, if you listen, there's clearly water. Almost sounds like a spray nozzle going off. And so I wonder if like one of them was cleaning the cage, either Maggie or Alex. And then of course there's I guess maybe a dog had gotten out and is attacking a chicken, is what sounds like is going on.
It's a guinea.
This is a chicken.
Come here, Bubba.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bubba.
Cash. Quit.
So, and we'll look at it in slow motion as well, because I actually just noticed something I haven't seen. Yeah, it's a beautiful dog. The dog is fine. All the animals are fine. That dog, Cash, is now with his owner, Roger, who was on the stand, so he's fine. He picked him up the next day on June 8th. So, yeah, as far as I know, all the animals are fine. But yeah, we're going to look at it in slow motion here in just a second. But here's kind of his reaction when they play the video. I think this is the reaction.
Is that the video you watched back in November 2022?
It is.
Where's that video taken?
At the kennels.
You recognize your dog?
I do.
You recognize Paul's voice?
Yes, sir.
You recognize Maggie's voice?
Yes, sir.
You recognize Alex's voice?
Yes, sir.
100%?
Yes, sir.
Can you point out Alec Murdaugh, the person whose voice you recognize in this video in this courtroom, please?
Sitting right there in the gray jacket.
Ooh.
Please let the record reflect he's identified the defendant.
And I mean, that's just tough. And I feel bad for the guy that's on the stand, because if you actually watch and listen to his testimony, actually the defense will actually bring this up to trying to lean on his emotions probably, but the defense brings up like how close he was not only to Paul but the family, and he's like, yeah, the Murdaughs were like a second family to me. Alex was like a second father, Maggie was like a second mother, and they were all close. And so I can only imagine in his position how messed up that's got to be, to have to point out the killer of your best friend, and that is who you used to claim as your second father. Like, how messed up of a deal is that? So, but we're gonna look at the video again in slow motion. It'll play here in just a minute.
Nothing further.
Drain, let's go back to court.
Got it.
A guinea.
Guinea. And then you heard a voice say, no, it's a chicken. Do you remember whose voice that was?
That was Mr. Alex that said it the first time, and then Paul also said it was a chicken.
Okay.
That's a good. That's a good point. True Crime Web. Thank you, Steve. Had a great members only live show just a minute ago. Maggie wouldn't say it's a guinea if there was anyone present who wasn't supposed to be there. She would warn Paul. That's a great point. Yeah, it all just sounds like a normal situation. Something gets a hold of a chicken, and no one seems disturbed. And keep in mind that this attack is going to happen, according to the prosecution. The video ends at 8:45. Forget the seconds, and Paul's phone would apparently turn off at 8:49, so that's basically when I think the attack would happen. So we're talking minutes from the murder.
And then someone says, Bubba, let go of that chicken or something like that.
Yeah, just holler for Bubba.
And whose voice did you recognize hollering for Bubba?
Mr. Alex.
Okay. And who's Bubba?
Their dog.
Do they have?
Yeah, so Bubba is, I guess, the dog. It's a different Labrador. And, well, heck, he's going to explain it. So let him explain it.
And was Bubba a yellow lab?
He was.
Did Bubba have his own kennel?
He did.
Which one was it?
Most of the time he was in the first one right beside the feed room.
Okay. Now, you had talked to Paul, I think.
Standing. If you're at the house or inside the house.
Okay, so after this, then I think I have the slow motion video. But what's interesting about this is, so now at this point, obviously it would be, I guess, nighttime. And so what he's going to kind of point out is that from the house, from the house to the kennels is about 3.5 football fields away from each other. But he's going to point out that you, from the house looking towards the kennels, you would be able to see like the roof and the lights on, and vice versa. If you're at the kennels, you'd be able to see the house with the lights on. So basically this points out that if Alex was at the house and he's waking up, and and I don't even know how, if he wasn't involved, if he's at the house, how could he not hear 6 shots? Although it is 3.5 football fields, you would still hear something. But clearly the lights are on, and they're only on because they're over there at the kennels. So why wouldn't Alex just go drive over there?
House on the second floor, something like that. Can you see the roofs of the sheds and down there?
The last time I had been out there, yes, you would be able to see the top of the structure.
And if you're standing out here in front of them sheds, could you see the top of the house the
Yes.
other way?
Same thing, yeah. Last time I was there, you would be able to see the top of the structure. There was trees growing between the houses.
And that was a long time ago, right?
That's correct.
Down there at the sheds, did they have like outdoor lighting down there?
Yes, sir, they did.
And if all that was on, could you see all that lighting from the house?
Yes, you would be able to see that there were lights on from the house.
If those lights were on, it'd be pretty well lit up, is that right?
If all of them were, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll probably turn down the sound because it's going to sound really weird. But I just noticed something watching this video now. I definitely do see some kind of water kind of pooling up or something. But I definitely see some water on the ground. Because it definitely sounds like the hose is on. And we'll watch it in real time one more time as well after. But let's look at this in slow motion here. I'm going to go in here. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know, maybe it might be too blurry. I have to play it in real time. But I noticed you start to see some pools of water on the ground. And we'll also look at the floor plan for those that might be kind of confused. So it does look like some kind of water. Definitely hear water running. Oh yeah, I can see it right there. Right when it turned right there. You can see it. Oh, I'm probably in the way. Let me move it over a little bit. Okay. And I'll explain with the water. Just my theories on it, but right here, kind of right. Right there. Yep, you can see it. You can kind of see it glistening right there. And we'll look at it real time. I might have to like break this video down. I just got it like an hour before, well, maybe 2 hours before the show, but I was working on some other things as well. Yeah, I mean, they could have probably been just cleaning, obviously, yeah, using the hose to clean up the poop, you know, because they're in the kennels, so you use the hose to wash out the kennels. But I think what happened is obviously maybe one of them had the hose on, maybe Maggie or Alex, and it could, or I mean, it could have been either all three of them, one of the three. But I think that just means the water got left on when they started getting attacked. And that's why there's a big pool of water. Yeah. I mean, unless then they're just spray nozzles, then I guess I wouldn't explain the water just running, but... Oh yeah, you can definitely see the water droplets there. Yeah, you can actually see the water actually starting to kind of funnel in. It's going to end here any second. Okay. And we'll look at that in regular time one more time, and then we'll talk about how there's 2 Snapchat videos, and there was a lot of confusion because people are saying this was taken at 7:56, and I'll explain because there was actually 2 Snapchats taken, and the times of those Snapchat videos were like some people on different articles on the websites have been mixing the times up and confusing people. So here's one more time just in regular. Let me turn up the volume again.
Get back. Get back. Quit, Cash. Come. Quit. It's okay. Come here. Come on, back. Come here, Cash. Come here. Post it. Cash.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, Bubba.
It's a guinea.
This is a chicken.
Come here, Bubba.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bubba.
Cash. Quit.
I mean, that definitely. I didn't even. If I can find Murdaugh saying Bubba somewhere and then match it up, because that's clearly him saying, "Come here, Bubba." I mean, in my opinion, I should say.
It's a guinea.
This is a chicken.
Yeah, no kidding.
Come here, Bubba.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bubba.
Cash. Quit.
Yeah. That's weird. I thought there was a little more to that audio. It's saying get him off. Get him off. Okay. So let's see what you're saying. Yeah, poor chicken. Yeah, I don't know what the chicken was doing out or near the kennels. That doesn't sound good, especially with hunting dog. I'm assuming these are hunting dogs. Maybe not all of them, but yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where should we break this down at? So we broke down the crime scene in our last 2 live shows, and we'll quickly recap that for those that may have missed it. So this is the diagram they had over here in the top left corner. Now what is messed up is they didn't make it to scale, which means let's say this body that's laying right here clearly looks way bigger than the storage room, and that Steve, from True Crime Web, who is in here, he says that annoys the heck out of him that they wouldn't have done everything to scale. So if they were going to make it smaller, everything would still fit right. So this body should have been probably about half the size of it. Anyway, so the kennels, and so I just kind of made it my own little kennel. So we have the kennels. There's a storage room and I don't know if the storage room is the feed room, but I think there's 1 or 2 rooms kind of on the end, and then you got just rows of kennels that go down. Paul, and then there's kind of an awning that hangs off the top here. And Paul would be shot twice, once in his upper chest arm area, which kind of exited out the left side of him. And then the second shot was a fatal headshot wound, almost kind of upward, completely, nearly basically decapitating, very gruesome. He would fall forward. After that, and the 2 shells were found just inside the feed room here, the storage room. So it looks like he was standing in the room here when he first got shot. There's a couple, I think there's at least 4 footprints. One of them is from the law enforcement stepping in the blood, but the 3 or 4 other ones that are there, a couple of them could have been Paul after getting shot and stepping in his own pool of blood. And then the second fatal shot as he was coming forward, and this would cause him to kind of fall just in between the doorway there, face down. And then we have Maggie, who's found just around the corner of the red roof building here. There is apparently 3 shells of the AR Blackout, the 300 Blackout rounds that were found pretty close to each other, which would kind of suggest the killer would have been standing kind of where I'm circling right here, because an AR, the rounds eject out to the right and kind of to the back. So it suggests the killer would have been standing somewhere about here. And then there's another 3 rounds found over by her body. Now, she was shot apparently, I believe, 4 to 5 times. And one of them was in the back of her head. So it could have been that there was 3 rounds fired, which would bring her falling, causing her to fall forward on the ground. Then the killer would have walked over. There was actually a mark on one of her legs, which could suggest she might have been stepped on, or maybe they were like checking to see if she was still alive, kind of like kicking the leg, because they thought it looked kind of like a footprint, but they never really looked into it. They just took a picture of it. And then it looks like 3 more rounds would have been fired at very close range. And both bodies would have stippling on them, basically suggesting that when you get stippling, that means you're very close to the firearm is very close to the person that's getting shot. And both of them, Maggie and Paul, did have stippling. So that's kind of a look at the crime scene. Some people were wondering, well, why, if it's Alex, why would he use 2 different guns? I would say that would make it look like it was 2 different shooters. But all the ammo that was found near the bodies are the same shells that they use in their guns. The Murdaugh family, they have tons of guns, and of course they had 3 Blackout AR rifles. They had bought 2 originally, 1 black, 1 tan. Black one was for Paul, the tan one was for Buster. The black one that Paul had ended up going missing. So in 2016, for Christmas, Buster and Paul got their first Blackout rifles, the black and tan. And then Paul lost his sometime after that. In 2018, Alex would go and replace it. And anyway, after the murders, they still cannot find the 2 ARs that basically the one that was replaced that was supposed to be for Paul's. They can't find that one. And then, of course, the 12-gauge shotgun is the same kind of rounds that were used in Paul's shotgun. Let me grab this real quick. What's up, Emo Jim? I was just about to email you, but I was busy, but I'll get back to you, buddy. Hey, Chris, I finally took my lunch while you were live. Congrats on your 52K subs. Good to see you again. Thank you so much, Emo Jim. Appreciate it, buddy. I'll get back to you after the show. That's awesome, buddy. Thank you. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Okay, so is that why her phone was way from her body, because she dropped it while running away? Jamie, actually, I don't think so, because her phone, so Paul's phone, now what's is weird is Alex would check, and this is like, how would Paul not, or how would Alex not have any blood on him after having these 2 fatal wounds, a lot of probably a pool of blood around him already. And somehow Alex goes to check his pulse and goes to kind of roll him over, and his phone pops out, and he takes time to look at the phone for a second for whatever reason. And we'll also look at apparently a message was deleted, I believe, on Maggie's phone. So we'll look at that. But Paul's phone was found close to his body, but her phone was found a quarter mile away, actually. So let me forward here. Okay, so there's that timeline. Okay. So SLED, actually, let me answer your question and then we'll get to that. So here's an overlook at the property. Here's kind of like the Mozilla Road right here, the orange line here. There's 2 ways to get into the house. You have this entrance here, which takes you, this red pin is where the house is located at. You've got the kennels with the shed. There's like 3 different sheds and the kennels where Maggie and Paul's bodies were found. There is actually a second entrance, which I guess, according to family members and the prosecution, I guess they say that they almost use this driveway just as much as this driveway. And I believe the mailbox is actually somewhere on this driveway here, which is kind of interesting. But her phone would actually be found a quarter of the mile down the road on Mozilla Road in some grass just off the side of the road here. So they did recover that. Let's see, today's Wednesday. Tuesday, they were kind of going over, and a little bit today as well, but mainly yesterday, they were kind of going over, and I'm still trying to break that down because there's just so much to that, where the phone was like still kind of, after they were attacked, the phones were still, especially Maggie's phone was still like moving and going into portrait mode and landscape mode, and that could only happen if it's being moved around and handled. And so that was kind of interesting. Let's see, we got 300. How's the chat speed? Let me know just in case. I don't think I have anything on, but if the chat speed's good, let me know. So moving on. Let's see, where did I want to go to? Okay, so there was 2 Snapchat videos. This is where there was a lot of confusion, especially after this audio came out. And what's up, Karina Dreama? Good to see you. So there was one taken prior to the one that we just watched, and it was sent to Will Loving, and he was actually on the stand. He was the last witness on the stand for today. He's also a friend of Paul's, and was actually asked some of the same questions about the audio from the other video. But he was sent a Snapchat video at approximately 7:56 a.m. or 7:56 p.m. Excuse me, which showed Alex and Paul looking at trees. Now, what's interesting is Mr. Loving says that you can actually see Alex, and he's seen, they don't describe what kind of shirt, but he's just seen wearing a shirt and pants. Now, we know that when they get there, after he calls 911, we see him wearing shorts. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. So that was the first Snapchat video for that evening. And I guess that was getting confused for this other Snapchat. So we have the one that was sent earlier that shows the video of Alex and Paul looking at trees. Then we have the one just before the attacks happened. And that's the one, obviously, that we just watched, which was taken at 8:44, which obviously shows Paul looking at Rogan's dog Cash, while Maggie and a third voice is heard, which both witnesses claim they're 100% sure that it's Alex Murdaugh's voice. So it's pretty up until now, it's been like, so far, like I came into this like 60-40, 60% thinking it was Alex, but after today, that was huge. This was definitely, I don't know if this is the smoking gun, but that is pretty big, and so doesn't look good. So yeah, I don't know if he described what kind of t-shirt, but the big thing is from shorts to pants, or from pants to shorts, which is huge. But what I want to talk about is that one of the law enforcement officers, I can't remember if it was part of SLED or just the responding law enforcement, but she said that she was interesting wording. She said that she thought he was wearing a fresh pair of clothes, which is kind of a unique phrasing. Not just clean clothes, but fresh pair of clothes. So I don't know, could she smell like the fabric softener on him or something? Not saying that's the case, but that doesn't look good for her saying that, and the jury hearing that. And so anyway, these are the clothes he'd be wearing, and I know it's kind of hard to see here, but obviously he's wearing shorts. So I mean, at almost 8 o'clock, according to, I don't know what the exact time. I'm still trying to do some research, and maybe we'll hear more on where, Alex. But I believe Alex, after that video, he would go to the house to take a nap. So I guess I could explain him putting on the shorts. But I don't know. That's kind of weird. Let's see. Speed is good. Okay, cool. This is a crazy case, Chris. I don't know what to think of this guy's guilt yet. Oh, not. After today, I'd say I'd be like 80, 20, 90, 10. Pretty much. I mean, doesn't look good for him. Thank you so much for the $20, buddy. Yeah, too bad the video. Yeah, the newer video doesn't show what he's wearing. Yeah. That would have been definitely really huge. Who does Buster support? Does he believe it was his dad? That's a great question, but I think one way or the other, he's going to be called to that witness stand, and he's going to be asked, at the very least, if this is his voice on that. If he recognizes that voice on the video. I am almost certain at some point they are going to ask, at the very least, call Buster up to ask him, hey, who does this sound like? And he's going to be under oath. So that's huge. And you know what? It sucks. I didn't get to, when they were playing the audio, and most of the time when they were talking with a friend, they didn't really show Buster. Usually they'll kind of pan out to Buster. I'll have to kind of go back. I'm sure they did at one point. But most of the time, especially playing the video and audio, they were just zoomed in on Alex to see what his... so I'm curious to know what Buster's reaction was when hearing that audio for the first time. What does the video show? We'll play it one more time for you, Karina, here in a little bit. Everybody's 99, 90, 10. Yeah. So this is the other thing. So people are wondering, why 2 guns? So it makes me wonder if maybe Paul, because I guess Paul would usually keep one of his guns, if not both of them, in his truck. And I guess he has 3 trucks. Which I didn't know. I knew about 2, so apparently he has like 3 trucks, and I'm still working on the research on that. So, and one of them was found broken down on the interstate, but I think that might not be related. I'm still looking into that. But he has the other 2 vehicles, but he'd usually keep, according to the friends, at least one of these guns in his vehicle or by his side if he was out on the property. And so his 2 guns was the blackout or the shotgun. So it could explain if Alex maybe had one or the other, maybe the shotgun on him, maybe shot Paul first with the shotgun, and then maybe the blackout was near Paul, and then he just grabbed the blackout and then went and attacked Maggie. Let's see. Oh, that didn't come up right. So a lot of people are asking me, and I didn't get to do a lot of research, but what would be the motive for Alex? And there is a lot of them. But I think one of the biggest ones, in my opinion, is that if you know this backstory to this crazy Murdaugh family, is that in, I have to look at the year, I think it's 2000. We'll look at the year. Let's see. What year was it? 2019, right? Yeah, 2019. So 2019, there would be a boating accident. Well, let's look at that, and then we'll. So in 2019, 3 couples, Paul with his girlfriend and 2 other couples, they went out for a night of drinking. They were driving this boat. They drove the boat, got to a dock, did some more drinking. Paul had been drinking way too much, and then they all got back in the boat. They had a bad feeling, and they didn't want Paul to drive. The other 2 guys were begging to let them take over because Paul had been drinking way too much. I guess when Paul gets super drunk, he would have this alter ego called Timmy. And anyway, Timmy was an a-hole. And so it's, nighttime. They're driving. And they end up he ends up speeding up the boat. And there's a bridge. It's Archer's Creek Bridge. He speeds up. Of course, since it's dark and there's no proper lighting on the bridge, they slam right into one of the pillars of the bridge, sending, I think, all of the occupants off the boat. And unfortunately, it must have knocked this poor girl, Mallory, maybe knocked her out, and she fell in the water and unfortunately drowned. And then the thing that pissed a lot of people off is because of the power that the Murdaugh family has, and since they're all mostly attorneys, they were able to have, as a matter of fact, the person that represented Paul, Dick Harpootlian, is the same guy that represented Paul, and he basically got him off with just a slap on the wrist compared to what he should have probably received. So the family then, I want to say it's like a $50 million claim lawsuit against Paul. And so he was actually going to be facing criminal charges with that case. And so that could be the motive. And actually, Paul was actually supposed to be moving out real soon as well. So I wonder if that was like Alex's, like, this is the, if Alex did do it, just speculation, he's going to be moving out. If that was on Alex's mind, he's got to get rid of him. So then they don't have that against the family, because he would probably have to end up paying for that, I'm assuming. And then there's other motives on top of that. True Crime with Shannon. Wow, member for 9 months. That's so awesome. Murdaugh family has a lot of secrets and stuff going on. Thanks for all this breakdown, Chris. You're welcome. Yeah, we'll look at the video for those that might have missed it. Let me just get caught up here. Donna, thank you so much for the super sticker. You are so sweet. I think I saw one more. Okay, did we get them all? Okay. So if you missed it, let's play it one more time for those that might have missed the video. Let's see. Okay, that's the audio one. Snapchat video. Is it this one? Yes. Okay.
All right, let me show you something real quick. You heard me.
So for those that missed the first part, this is Rogan. His dog Cash is being held at the kennels, and he wanted Paul. Paul was saying there was something wrong with his tail, and so Paul was going to send him a video of the dog's tail. And so it's a 50-second clip. This would literally be taken minutes before, according to the prosecution, minutes before Paul and Maggie would be attacked.
Get back. Get back. Cash. Come on. Quit. That's okay. Come here. All right, Come here, Cash. Come here. Post it. Get it.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, Bubba.
It's a guinea.
This is a chicken.
Come here, Bubba.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bubba.
Cash. Quit.
So I guess I was wrong in my video. I thought he was saying get him off, but it actually sounds like get him, Bubba. So I was wrong on that, but it still sounds, I mean, clearly I think it's Alex. But yeah, I thought it said get him off, but I guess I'm wrong on that one. Miss says, oops, Mist says, sled identified Alex footprints. Please watch again. Okay. I wasn't sure. Like I said, I knew there were some footprints, and I knew that one of them was attributed to one of the sleds or the first responders, and I wasn't sure on that. So thank you, Mist. I will definitely look into that. There's a lot. I'm trying to juggle like 3 projects right now. So thank you, Mist, for letting me know. I'll have to see if I can. If you can, let me know in the chat what day that was, and then I'll go back and. Yeah, it is. Hey, Bubba. I originally thought it said get him off. But the recording I had originally was a little bit. The quality wasn't as good. But either way, so if you didn't see my video where I kind of line up Alex and the voice in this video. I mean, clearly.
The video looks like.
Oops. That's not it. Find it, Paul. Okay, so there's that one. That one. Oh, I know where it's at. It's over in this one here. And there it is. Okay. Home over. Okay, so here's the. Gosh, I guess I could just pull this up for you guys. You know what? Let me do that. I don't know why I just don't do that in the first place. It'd be much easier. I can skip right to it. So, open. Recent files. Okay. So what we got here going on is this area right here is the. It's not the whole 50-second clip. I think it's like 40 seconds approximately. But this is where he's saying. Bubba. I thought he was saying get him off, but get Bubba. But either way, I play his voice, and here is actual confirmed Alex's voice on these audios at the bottom here. So here we'll kind of look at him.
Was off today. He 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 was off today.
But it still has that same high pitch that he has. I mean, yeah, that's very unique. What's up, Perry? UK True Crime. We don't know the dog. We don't know the dog caused the death of the chicken. That's true. The dog may simply have discovered its carcass and retrieved a reasonable doubt. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we don't know that. And I was thinking maybe it could have even been collateral damage from, maybe it was just in the background, and with shotgun pellets being shot, maybe got shot. So, yeah, Squeaky sounds like him. Yeah, he's got a very twang voice. Is pretty unique. We'll listen to it one more time, but it's clearly him. I mean,
He was off today. He was off off today. He was 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 off today.
Yeah, sounds pretty close to me. And with the, like I said, you have the two kind of childhood friends of Paul's who grew, you know, especially the one Rogan that considered the Murdaughs a second family. That's almost like as good as a son pointing out a father saying, yeah, I recognize that voice. I mean, that's huge. That is really huge. Let's see, what time did we start? Gosh, it's already been an hour. That's crazy. Okay, so a couple more things I wanted to touch on. I did find a screenshot of his phone. Here's that text he said, "Call me, babe," and then we have "Tell Paul to call me." Still trying to figure out the context to that. What was the other thing I wanted to show? There's one more. And then we'll talk about what's coming up. We, of course... So this is, I showed this in my last live, but, we would assume with the gunshot in the chest and then falling forward, you would think there would be at least a decent sized pool of blood around his chest area. And then with the head, it would be very catastrophic and very gruesome. And just how would he not have any blood on him, not only checking Paul's body, but also Maggie's body, and not have any blood on him? It is just so weird. And then the other thing is the whole thing that he rolls Paul over and a phone pops out. Now, I believe they say that Paul was wearing shorts. So unless Paul had his phone out, which he could have, if it was in his pocket, I would think a phone isn't just going to pop out. So I thought that was really weird, and makes me even wonder if Alex even maybe obtained his phone before shooting him, just because I would think the phone would land in the pool of blood and stuff. So let me see what you guys are saying here. Make the chat interesting, hence time goes by fast. Awesome. Oops, I missed it. It is weird, makes no sense, right? Yeah, it's so weird. When I went, because I'm from Utah, but I went to Ohio, and everybody calls Bubba or Bubs, something like that, to everybody, like their close friends, or especially father to son and vice versa, is usually Bub or Bubba. And out here in Utah, or I don't know if it's just Utah and kind of the Midwest, we don't really say that, Bubba. So I don't know if that's more of a thing out there. Oh, it's a blue shirt with pants. Okay, yeah, I don't. Chris, it is on YouTube now? Okay, let's look at it. New video. Ooh, let's break it down. Okay. Let's see what he was wearing. Oh, I'm excited. Okay. That's Murdaugh. I'm assuming Snapchat. Paul. Oops. Paul and Alex. Hours ago, raw video, not that one. Okay, let's see if we can find it here. Oh, I'm sure I could find it in this one. Oh, there it is. Holy shnikes. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is an hour Wow. Okay, I'm gonna... It's only 9 seconds, though. Oh, is that tough to watch? Like, just normal family having a good laugh. This is an hour, more or less an hour before. Oh, I just can't believe that. Thank you, Miss, for letting me know. I'm just going to quickly download the video off of Twitter real quick. Is it this one? There it is. So it doesn't hit the replay. Give me 1 second. Okay, we got the video. Okay, so is that it? 9 seconds? Let's see. 9 seconds. Yeah, and here's the side-by-side. I mean, yes, I mean, he clearly went to the house, so I mean, I can kind of see people arguing that. Let's look at this one more time, though. Where'd it go? Where did you go? Don't I see you? Must have saved it in this one. Oh, where'd it go? I can't find it. Oh well. Alright, we'll just look at it one more time on Twitter. That's weird. So, yeah, there's what he was wearing. Let me take a screenshot of that, though. So, yeah, so that's supposedly this video is taken at 7:56. I'll look at it one more time.
Better than it was, ain't it? Better than it was, ain't it?
That is funny. That's too bad. Yeah, planting a tree. Ah, it's terrible. Just so crazy. That one's 5 seconds, 5 seconds. So let's look at this here. Oh my good gosh. Oh, cover your ears. That is so loud.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you, baby.
Oh, so weird. Yeah, it's so weird. Makes me angry. What a waste. Just what a waste. Anyway, well, now we have that video. A lot shorter than I realized, but at least we kind of see what we're wearing. It's too bad the other video wouldn't show what he was wearing. And that would, I mean, even though having his voice there just minutes before they're attacked, I pretty much his goose is cooked. But man, that's tough to say. That's really tough to see. It is. Yeah. So I think we've gone through everything. We showed the videos, talked about the stippling. Is there anything on this one? Okay, there's one thing in here that I wanted to show you guys real quick. And then I'll talk about what we got planned. So don't go anywhere yet because there's a few other things that we got. So I'm going to read this. So the last, so we have Lieutenant Murdaugh testified Paul sent his final text message to Megan at 8:48:05. So that was 4 minutes, approximately 3 minutes before the last Snapchat video. So this, I guess this is the last message that Paul sends. So 8:45:05 p.m. he was alive. The pair were messaging back and forth. She messaged back to Paul, but she messaged him back, and Paul read the okay, so he did read the text message. So he was alive at exactly 8:48:59, so almost 8:49. This was his last activity. So we could assume that the homicides literally took place at basically 8:49, 8:50. Maggie would apparently read her last message at 8:49 and 27 seconds. So basically, this pretty much the same time. 8 seconds later, 8:49:35. Mr. Gibson sent Paul a text message, but it went unread. 8:49, Maggie didn't open or respond to her messages, including her husband, oldest son Buster. Everybody was messaging her. Then later on, Murdaugh would send a final text, "Call me, babe." But I think he would try to call her at like 9:06 or something like that. So the court, Mr. Murdaugh had called Maggie 5 times between 9:04 and 10:03. I thought it was 9:06. I don't know. Some of these sites are kind of got their same, but that's about the same time. So approximately 9:05 to 10 on the night of the 7th. And minutes after the final call to Maggie at 10, Murdaugh would call 911 at 10:07, claiming to have found their bodies. So that's just a little bit of that. And that reminded me of something that I wanted to show. Anyway, I'm going to try to put this in chronological order. This kind of... So... Anyway, interesting. I mean, it's really sad, though. It really is just sad. Yeah. So, for those that might have missed the show, definitely go back and rewatch some very interesting things. It's interesting. Thank you, Mist, for letting me know about that new video. Kind of interesting to see what he was wearing before. So... Yeah, right now, not looking good for Alex. And like I said, just curious, let me know. Do you think the prosecution will call Buster up, and will Buster have to testify under oath if that's the voice of his father? Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you think he's going to be called up by the prosecution to identify the voice. I'm sure there'll be other things that, if he's called to the stand, but I think that will be... kind of the nail in the coffin, I would assume, along with some, maybe they have some other things that they'll release towards the end, but I'm losing my voice. Oh, we got a 2. So what's coming up? So Steve from True Crime Web, and I've got his channel link at the very top, pinned at the top. We're going to be working together. Pretty much we're going to be teaming up come a couple months. We're going to be working on cold cases. We can't really mention exactly the ones until the time is right, but we're going to be going out. And so we're going to be bringing you guys along with us. And we got a geophysicist that does 3D mapping. And so we're going to be, like I said, trying to help bring some closures to family. We're going to be going to Texas, Idaho, hopefully here in Utah when the time is right for Dylan Rounds, possibly Aiden Clune. And Steve as well is doing something that pertains to this case, and I can't give away what it is, but I promise you it's going to be very exciting and very informative. And so that should be done hopefully maybe this Saturday, and we'll have him on the show to present it. It's going to be amazing. And then one more thing for those that are, kind of want, more me covering other cases as well, is let me just show you what I have coming up. And so I've been working on the Lori Vallow and Daybell case because I haven't covered that on this channel. And I was thinking about just doing a video because one of the things, the reason why I wanted to cover this case is because it's just so crazy. But one of the big things is I've noticed a lot of the documentaries don't really focus a lot on Tylee and JJ and their final moments and who was around them and kind of what information's out there, and do we know who was actually involved in their demise. I'm sorry, I have to kind of be careful on how I word it because of YouTube. But so I was doing as much research as I can because I feel like a lot of, even with Netflix, I mean, they kind of touch on some things, but I really wanted to break down like their final moments and who was around them. Because I know if you know the case, they have the family hitman, Alex Cox, but was he the sole guy that did all of, these terrible things? Or were other people involved? And I found some interesting things that I definitely want to show you guys. So just to give you an idea, when I do a short video, this is about as how long it usually is when I do like a short video for you guys that like the shorts and not big on the live shows. It would be about this long, maybe a whole page. Just to give you an idea, this is how much I've got so far, and I'm only maybe halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through. But so yeah, I am doing the whole video. I thought, if I'm going to do it, I might as well just do the whole story. But I'm going to be focusing a lot on JJ and Tylee and who was around them, because I think it's really interesting on some of the things that I've kind of discovered. And so, yeah. So anyway, Granny says, who was shot first? And I'm assuming you're talking about the Murdaugh case. I'm going to go on a limb and say Paul, but that's just speculation. Since they were probably killed around the same time, I don't know if the coroner would be able to tell. I guess that's a great question. Maybe we'll find out. I don't know. That's one thing that's never really been exactly established. Yeah, so that's just my 2 cents. I would think Paul, but we don't know for sure. So yeah, the Daybell case video should be coming out maybe late tomorrow, if not Friday. But I'm super excited because I put a lot of work into it. So. It wasn't like his feet, but shoe prints. My bad. It was the female expert. We'll try to find. Okay, that's okay. Missed. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was definitely. Yeah, and then so since we'll be busy this weekend, I talked about it earlier. We'll do a mod appreciation probably next weekend. So I really appreciate all the mods, Jennifer, Molly, Karen, Lady M. You guys are amazing. Bonnie, I sent you an email. I sent your thing out. Since you're in Canada, it's going to take a little bit longer, but it is on its way. So I'm going to go ahead and play the outro. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to have your picture of your pet featured on the outro, just send me a picture of your pet with its name to my email, and we'll get it featured in upcoming live show. Generally, the biggest threat first, Paul and Maggie. That's a great... We'll leave off with that, Steve. That's why I'm so excited to be working with Steve. Great insight. Why Buster... I missed that. Remember, Buster wasn't home, so he didn't know, Jenner, that what was going on. So... All right, guys. I love you guys. I hope you have a great night, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Most likely a live show, definitely a video for sure. And thank you guys so much for the donations and all the members. And just please hit that like button on the way out, and we'll go ahead and play the outro. Love you guys.